calling on the ad? Yeah, you gutless worm, you hung up.
And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it gets worse.
This is the most disgusting thing I have ever heard. This is going to be a changing day in your life.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
It matters to you. That's what I want to talk about. Are you ready in the booth? Let's do it. I'm backstage right now with Andreas, who's our information technologies expert, because he is helping me do an experiment today to show just how easy it is for someone to pose as someone else online and how quickly someone can be lured in. So what we've done here, because I know that so many young girls are getting on these social networking sites with provocative pictures and provocative dialogue, that's getting them in trouble. What we've done is had Andreas here pose as an 18-year-old girl putting up something on these social networking sites. Tell me what you put up in this ad.
So we put up an ad, and it basically says, fresh-faced young girl looking for fun, that I'm 18 years old, I'm new to the area, I'm looking to party, I'm down for anything. And then it lists our phone number.
Okay, now the phone is ringing right now because of just this ad, right? This is a phone that you bought. It's a prepaid phone. The only place anybody can get this number is from this ad, right?
That's correct.
And you can hear it just ringing crazy right now. Now, the picture here just shows legs, doesn't even show a face. In the first hour, what did we have?
We had 39 text messages, over 27 phone calls, and 5 emails.
In the first hour?
In the first hour alone.
Okay, so, and the people have no idea that they're talking to a 20-something guy. And we have no idea who these calls are coming from.
That's correct.
All right, so they're leaving text messages. What are they saying? Can I see some of the responses? Okay, hey, let's hook up. How much? I mean, they're assuming that this is for hire. And let's see, this one really disturbs me. Wanted to see if you wanted to hang out with me and my fiance tonight. We can travel. I have a bunch of pictures I can send you. Now, I'll tell you why that one bothers me so much. That's a pimp. That's somebody trying to lure this girl. And the reason I say that is because they're mentioning fiance, which is probably one of his other girls. So we're going to track this during the hour.
Yeah, we just reposted the ad, so we could
you
get...
put up a new ad?
Right, just a few minutes ago, just to see how many responses we could get during this hour.
All right, so I can check back with you. Apparently it's working.
Absolutely.
Because that phone is just lighting up and ringing nonstop. Hello? Hello? Yes, you were calling on the ad? Hello? Yeah, you gutless worm, you hung up. Now, here's the thing, guys. We don't know who's responding to these ads, but we know what they want. And this isn't just something that happens in theory. You're getting...
I won't forget this. Why do I regret this? In my mind reckless, thoughts are feeling endless. Sitting up, I'm breathless, anxiety's infectious. I feel so defenseless, betrayed and embarrassed. I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger ain't a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it soaking, reopen, the scars have awoken. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hope. Cause I can't move on till I let go. I can't move on till I let go. I feel so lost, never at home. Need to be strong, every breath hope. Cause I can't move on till I let go.
The pain makes it real. I don't wanna feel, I just wanna kill the bad thoughts and steal a good thought and feel. I'm just lost, I feel, I'm just lost to feel. I need time to heal, I can't steer the wheel. Cause this drive is
started doing my makeup, and next thing I knew, he had shot me.
He shot you. Then at 14, you met a woman that was pregnant.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I met her, and she told me that she had 2 cars and an apartment, and, you know, she kind of tried to bond with me like friends. And then she had me working for her.
And this was through Craigslist, right?
She had me working on Craigslist.
Okay, and you said that it was $250 for an hour, $180 for 30 minutes, $100 for a quickie. And you were making how much of that?
Over $1,000.
And how much of that did you keep?
None.
Where did the money go?
I had to give it all to my dad.
And what was your motivation? If all the money's going to her?
She kept me on drugs, so I was on ecstasy and cocaine, and I was drunk all the time. And she would take me shopping, get my nails done, and feed me, and let me live at her house.
Kind of like a mother.
Yeah.
Except that
Yeah.
she was exploiting you horribly.
Yeah.
You got out of this in December of last year.
Mm-hmm.
One ready to meet a girl by the name of Rosabella. She's 18, and talk about a cautionary tale. She was only 14 when she was sold online for sex. It started with just what you're seeing right here. Maybe your daughters play around with this. Maybe they put provocative things out there just wanting to have fun. But it can get ugly in a hurry. This is one you need to see.
When I was 13, I was introduced into prostitution. While walking the street, I met a female. She introduced me to a website called Craigslist to post ads and get calls from the internet. I would have a greeting stating I'm looking for a generous man who is looking to have a good time. It would list my prices and the services that I provided. On a typical day, I might get 30 calls a day. On Craigslist, I would probably see 6 to 15 guys a day. Having sex with that many men in one day is very degrading. When meeting gentlemen off of Craigslist, it was more nerve-wracking because you didn't know if they were the police. As if you meet them on the streets, you can have them touch you and you know that they're not the police. I got a call from a guy on Craigslist. When I went on this date, I went alone and he ended up raping me. After the man had raped me, he had tried to give me extra money so that I wouldn't go to the police or tell anybody about it. I decided that I needed to change my life. I got out of prostitution to be able to start a family and do the things that I thought I never could. I had to learn to love myself from within instead of trying to find love from every other guy.
Well, Rosabella, first, thank you for being here. I can't tell you how important this can be to so many young girls that are out there. You have seen the dark side of this internet activity. Now, let me kind of go through this. You were doing drugs, and partying, right?
Yes.
Just in your community. It was
Yes.
just bad choices that you were making, and you don't disagree with that now, right?
No.
Okay. How old were you when you lost your virginity?
I was 12.
Now, at 13, you met two guys and went to party with them, and there were a bunch of girls there, right?
There was 2 girls.
And how were they dressed? What stuck out about them?
They had their nails done, and they had really nice clothes on, name brands.
And they were getting those clothes and that from the money from having sex.
Yes.
So what did you think at that point? I mean, you thought, what, you're already having sex, so what?
Well, I was already promiscuous because I was trying to find love. I was looking everywhere for the love from a man. And so I figured I can get paid for it and have sex. That's easy.
So you did it for a couple of days, right? Mm-hmm. You say, how many times had you had sex in those 2 days?
Probably like 15 times.
15 times. Tell me what happened on Valentine's Day.
It was 2 weeks after I had been with them. They asked me if I wanted to go and walk the streets for the money. And I said no. We got in a little bit of an argument. I turned around and started doing my makeup. And next thing I knew, he had shot me.
He shot you. Then at 14, you met a woman that was pregnant.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
I met her, and she told me that she had 2 cars and an apartment, and, you know, she kind of tried to bond with me like friends. And then she had me working for her.
And this was through Craigslist, right?
She had me working on Craigslist mostly.
Okay, and you said that it was $250 for an hour, $180 for 30 minutes, $100 for a quickie, and you were making how much a day?
Over $1,000.
And how much of that did you keep?
None.
Where did the money go?
I had to give it all to my pimp.
And what was your motivation? If all the money's going to her...
She kept me on drugs, so I was on ecstasy and cocaine, and I was drunk all the time, and she would take me shopping, get my nails done, and feed me, and let me live at her house.
Kind of like a mother.
Yeah.
Except that
Yeah.
she was exploiting you horribly. But you got out of this in December of last year. Mm-hmm. Why did you do it? How did you do it?
Well, I did it because I wanted to have my family back. I was about to be 18. It was holidays. I had a miscarriage early December, and I knew that I couldn't continue on with what I was doing. I didn't want to use drugs, so it was depressing to try to sell yourself and not be on drugs.
What did your ad say when it was on Craigslist?
It would say, "Hi, my name is such and such," an alias.
Put in a name.
And it would say, "I'm looking to have a good time. I'm new in town. If you're looking to have a good time, call me," with my number. And it would state prices for the time and the services that I would do.
We've put up a fake ad like this now to see what happens. And we're getting like 50 contacts in the first hour. That doesn't surprise you at all, does it?
No.
And those are real contacts that if you returned that call, that's what was happening when you were in it before you got out. So tell me about your life now.
March, I started back at community college, and I graduated with my GED. I'm 8 months pregnant, a little bit over. And I live on my own apartment. I work, and that's my life now.
But it's a job. It's a real, legitimate job.
Yes.
And where is the father of this baby?
He lives with his cousin, but we're still working on everything together.
So he's in the picture?
Yes.
Are you glad to be out of this?
Yes.
How does it feel to know that you have your own place, a baby on the way, and a real job? It may not be the job you want the rest of your life, but it's a job.
Yeah. It feels amazing. I never thought that I could even go back and try to finish school. I thought I'd missed so much that I couldn't even go back.
Well, we have a mom here who's been listening to Rosabella's story. She has every reason to be concerned. You're going to find out why when we come back.
Stephanie became very obsessed with the internet. I found some photos. The guys in the pictures were totally exposing themselves. We saw inappropriate ones that she would send of her very provocative positions.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. Is your spouse having a midlife crisis?
I don't want to end our relationship. I just don't want to be married.
He wants to have his cake.
Are you seeing other women?
No.
And eat it, too.
There's not anybody in America that believes that.
Plus,
Miles is very boring.
she's been unfaithful.
The affair, I never thought that would happen.
But what's her other secret?
She's been hiding something and wants him to know the truth.
That's tomorrow.
It's so easy for anyone at any age to post an ad on the internet. I thought it would be fun, it would be easy, but it left me miserable.
Well, if you're just joining us, that was Rosabella. She was lured into prostitution at 13. At 14, she was getting trafficked on Craigslist for sex, $1,000 a day. Sex, and none of it, of course, went to her. She was plied with drugs and every manner of manipulation you can imagine. Now, there's a mother here. Her name is Dana. She has great concerns about her 14-year-old daughter, Stephanie. If you haven't hit record on your DVR, I think you should do it, because I think this is something you're going to want to watch with your daughters. Let's take a look at this tape.
Stephanie was always an easygoing child, just all-around good girl. Stephanie's grandfather had purchased a laptop with a webcam for Christmas when she was 11 years old. And that's when all the problems began. Stephanie became very obsessed with the internet. She would be on it all hours of the night. I made her show me her MySpace. I realized that there was guys that were 20 and 21. And for a 12-year-old girl to have 20-year-olds on your MySpace was inappropriate. I found some photos. The guys in the pictures were totally exposing themselves. We saw inappropriate ones that she would send of her very provocative positions. In August of '09, I found out that she had had sex. Stephanie was 12 at the time. This is where it's gonna make me cry. The guy was 19. I think my daughter's had sex with 2 guys. I don't know half the stuff Stephanie's done online, but it scares me. No matter what I do, there's no way to keep her away from the internet. And I'm afraid that she's setting herself up where she could be raped, killed, kidnapped, and she just thinks it's never gonna happen to her. I don't know if anyone has ever tried to lure her away, but it could happen.
Your fear is that your daughter is going to wind up in exactly the life that Rosabella was in.
Yes. She's very naive. She has set up multiple accounts, MySpace, Facebook. She talks on Messenger. She sends pictures, and she's got to where she's like, she deletes her history, she deletes her cookies to hide it from me. I opened up her email account one time, and as I opened it, there was several pictures of males exposing themselves. She told me she did not respond to them, but if you would go through the emails sent from the guys, you could tell that she must have sent something or commented, because they'd be like, oh, the picture was sexy, can you send another one?
You found out a year ago that she had had sex with a 19-year-old.
That's correct.
What did you do about that?
We contacted the local authorities, and my daughter was still, she just didn't want to help. She wouldn't tell us no names or anything. We had to find it out all on our own.
And you did, and you prosecuted.
Yes, we prosecuted.
And did he go to jail?
He went to jail for 5 years, and he's a registered sex offender on 2 charges.
All right, well, good for you. Good for you that you stepped up and held him accountable. At this point, now, tell me why you're here. What do you want from me?
Stephanie seems to think it's all right for her to go online. She doesn't understand the dangers.
I've tried everything I can to explain to her that she could place herself in a situation where she could be kidnapped or killed.
Let me ask you, you want help with this, right?
Yes.
So what are you willing to do to keep her from winding up in the life that Rosabella was living?
I'm willing to do anything. I've taken her internet away. I've taken her laptop, her iPod, her DSI system. I keep her at home all the time so I can keep supervision over her. If she wants to go somewhere, I have to go with her.
All right. What should she be willing to do to keep her out of your lifestyle? I mean, how dark is where this girl is headed if she goes where you are?
It sounds just like how I started. So it's hard and it's scary to hear about that from another girl. However, my mom tried the same things you did, took away computer privileges, took away phone privileges, didn't even have a house phone, didn't, would deadbolt me in the house when she was gone. But it didn't work. I would crawl out windows. I would do anything to get away and keep running away. I really had to see the truth firsthand and what it was before I could even stop.
Well, that's why we wanted you here today, so somebody doesn't have to see that. They can see it through the suffering that you've been through. Now, Robin Sachs is here. She is a former sex crimes prosecutor with the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office who's been researching sex trafficking. Robin, this is a serious situation, true?
Oh, this is a hugely serious situation and hugely rampant situation.
What's going on in trying to stop this and prosecute these people? I assume it is so prolific and so anonymous over the internet that it's like stomping ants. You can't really get there.
Well, there is the supply and demand issue where there's a huge amount of demand and therefore a huge amount of supply. And as the supply continues, the demand continues. What happens is that these young girls are getting prosecuted for prostitution. And while children don't have the ability to vote and rent hotels and really can't even be prostitutes, they can be prostituted. They cannot actually be prostitutes. But what they're risking is jeopardizing their criminal livelihood and going to potentially be in jail themselves.
So we're basically prosecuting the victims, but not the networkers, not the pimps, not the websites. We're prosecuting the victims that are being exploited and sexually trafficked.
Absolutely. For a cop, it's so much easier to go after the prostitute. It's easy. They're right there. They can go. They can write them up. They can lock them up.
Okay, and here's what I want people to understand. Mothers are sitting at home right now saying, my daughter doesn't want to be a prostitute. She wouldn't go do this. I think what I want people to understand is these young girls aren't intending to do that. What they're doing is wanting to behave really grown up, really big, really get out there and be the center of attention from all of these boys. What they don't know is that some of those boys turn out to be pimps who ply them with drugs and threaten them and start forcing them into prostitution. True?
Absolutely. A predator is a skilled individual who knows how to find the weak people. They know how to find the people who are vulnerable. They know how to find the people on drugs. And they know what tools and what gifts and what drugs to give to maintain their hold. And they are persistent. And there's enough people that they can go on to the next person if you're not interested.
And that was exactly your experience, true?
Yes.
Drugs and money and clothes and promises. And then when you wanted to leave, you wound up getting shot.
Yes.
That's the reality we're talking about here, Mom. All right, let me tell you what. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to check in to our experiment and see if the ad we've put up is getting any reaction. And then Dana's daughter, Stephanie, is here. We're going to see if any of this is getting through to her. We're going to talk to her, because this is one young girl we don't want to fall through the cracks. We'll be right back. Well, today we're talking about the dark side of the internet, and there is a dark side. At the beginning of the show, we posted an ad on some social networking sites posing as an 18-year-old girl, saying, hey, want to party, want to have a good time. Our IT director, Andreas, is in the green room. Let's check in with Andreas. What's happening? We put this up just a short time ago when we started the show. Are we getting calls, text, emails?
Yes, a lot of each. We have 13 emails, over 31 phone calls, and over 48 text messages.
And we're just, 20, 30 minutes into the show. Mm-hmm. So we've posted this up and have that much traffic. So that's how much they're out there. That's how many predators are out there. Andreas, thank you.
Sure.
I'm really interested because I've got some young girls right here in this row. Is this scary to you?
It is. It's disgusting.
Do you spend time online?
Oh, yeah.
And in chat rooms and that sort of thing? Mm-hmm. Stand up. How about you? Does this surprise you?
It does. It really is disgusting, and I really hope every girl out there can just see how sick people are out there that you don't even know, who's posing for what, and
learn from it.
Y'all are obviously very attractive. Do you put pictures up?
Appropriate pictures.
Right. I don't mean no. I understand, but it doesn't take much because you don't have to put up inappropriate pictures for this to go south. There are some things Stephanie has been up to that Dana doesn't even know. Let's take a look at that.
The first guy I slept with was 19. He asked me my age. I said I was 12. He said, I'll pretend like I don't know your age. I kept it a secret from my mom. It was a mistake. I messed up. Now I feel like I can't recover from it. It's changed my whole perspective of life. The second guy I slept with was 14. The third guy was 18. The fourth guy was 16. The fifth guy was 16. The oldest guy I ever talked to online was 24. A couple of guys even offered plane tickets for me to come see them. I have sent pictures to boys of me in my bra and panties. Getting this male attention, it makes me feel pretty. I'm not really afraid of meeting people online. I don't think it's dangerous.
We're talking to you today down here and not up there because I'm not going to show your face because I don't want to put her face here as a target for predators. We're just not going to do that. I'm not here to yell at you. I'm not here to judge you. But you can't tell me that you want to demean yourself and allow yourself to be used in the way that Rosabella was used and in the way that we're talking about. Tell me that's not true. You don't want to do that, do you?
I don't.
Do you love your father?
Yeah.
Do you have a good relationship with him?
Nope.
Can I say something?
Not yet. What do you want from your father that you're not getting? You can't tell me that you want to demean yourself and allow yourself to be used in the way that Rosabella was used and in the way that we're talking about. Tell me that's not true. You don't want to do that, do you?
I don't.
You told us there were 5 different people. True?
True.
How do you feel afterwards?
Afterwards, okay, and then later on, I feel used.
And why do you feel used?
I don't know.
And where have you met these 5 people?
They're friends through the internet.
Some of them you've talked to in chat rooms and online?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have a relationship with all 5 of them?
No, I don't talk to any of them.
So it wasn't the beginning of belonging to someone. It wasn't the beginning of belonging in a relationship. True?
True.
Where's your father in all this?
Home? I don't know. Like, what do you mean?
Do you talk to him about this?
No.
Does he talk to you about it?
Nope.
Do you love your father?
Yeah.
Does he love you?
Yes.
Do you have a good relationship with him?
Nope.
Can I say something?
Not yet. What do you want from your father that you're not getting?
Everything. Love, attention.
You miss that from him?
Yes.
What do you want to say?
When she was 12, she got raped. And after she got raped, her father called her names. And after that, she didn't even go over there for a whole year. He didn't even try. He just belittled her. Until I finally put my foot down and told him, listen, she's seeking attention from the wrong guys. You need to be a part of her life. I don't care if you want to be a part or not, you're going to. And I made him start taking her every other weekend like he was supposed to.
Stephanie, I want you to look at me. Do you think that I want to help you?
I do.
This is not your fault. You didn't, look at me. You didn't do anything wrong here. I know you think you're grown up, but right now you're still very much a child. I don't say that to be condescending to you. I'm not saying that to put you down. But when you are a victim of rape, it changes how you think about yourself. It changes how you see yourself. It causes you to feel like you're damaged in some way. It causes you to think that that's all you have to offer. But that, look at me, that's not true. You are a young, vibrant, intelligent young woman. And you have to be your own best friend here. Now, I'm sorry that your father is having a difficult time with this, and I will do everything within my power to help heal that broken bond. I truly will. You don't deserve his disdain. You don't deserve his rejection. You don't deserve his judgment. And you deserve better from yourself as well. But you're not going to fix this problem because it feels good at the time. While you're with some guy, they say nice things to you, don't they? You feel loved at the time. But in the moment, it feels like you are wanted and desired and accepted. But let me tell you, the kind of person that has sex with a 14-year-old girl is a sick, worthless, no-good pervert. That's not who you want to be loved by. It's not who you want to spend time with. Those are sick people. There is someone in this world that is going to love you and respect you and lift you up. There is someone in this world to share your life with, but you're not ready to find that person yet. I had you sit here and hear about Rosabella. They forced her to have sex 15 times a day. They plied her with drugs. They shot her. They wouldn't let her go back to her mother. That doesn't have to happen to you. You've been hurt inside, and you're trying to fix it by these connections, and that's not what we want to do here. Do you hear what I'm saying? You have a wound inside, and you need help to heal that. And I'm going to get you that help, okay? Will you take that help? And you don't want to lie to your mother. Let me tell you, look this woman in the eye. Do you see judgment from her, or do you see love in her eyes?
Love.
She is hurting for you. If she could trade places with you, she would. But she can't do that, but she reached out instead. She reached out here. She reached out to all of us here to try and help you. And let me tell you, I'm stepping up and answering that call. Do you hear me? It's you and me, girl. We're gonna fight this together. All of us here, we're gonna do this. Will you let me help you?
Yes.
And I'm talking to everybody in this audience right now. If you think this child is a victim and not a bad person, we're going to talk about that when we come back.
The sergeant on duty just said, remember her beautiful smiling face.
Within days, accident scene photos showed up online. The most horrific were of Nikki's nearly decapitated head.
Every time I look at a computer, I fear that I'm going to see the photographs of my daughter.
Why would anybody want to share such horrific graphic pictures.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I don't want to end our relationship. I just don't want to be married.
Is your spouse having a midlife crisis?
Are you seeing other women?
No.
There's not anybody in America that believes that.
That's tomorrow.
It's a twisted case of alleged revenge on Long Island. A mother is accused of posting a sexually suggestive ad on Craigslist, urging older men to call a 9-year-old girl who had a fight with her daughter.
Clinical social worker Marjorie Tannenbaum of Hauppauge allegedly giving sex-seeking men a 9-year-old child's phone number through a Craigslist ad.
Topping our news this hour, the man who solicited the rape of a Nashona County woman through an ad on Craigslist was sentenced in district court just moments ago.
The judge sentenced Stipe to 60 years to life in prison.
The West Hartford man facing serious charges tonight.
The man who lives in this house is accused of posting a bogus sex ad on Craigslist, advertising a sexual encounter at a neighbor's house. The 41-year-old is now facing a slew of charges from harassment, reckless endangerment, and criminal liability for sexual assault.
We're talking about the internet. It's wonderful and it's terrible at the same time. There's something called trolling. Anonymous users bombard victims with offensive photos, messages, or abuse. Now, Christos and Leslie experienced trolling at its absolute worst. I just have to tell you, this is the most disgusting thing I believe I have ever heard. And it just gets me so upset I can't even tell you.
Nikki was a free-spirited, polite, sweet young lady. Absolutely a great daughter.
She was always surprising us and amazing us. She wanted to teach her sisters how not to make any of the mistakes she would make growing up.
The accident was October 31st, 2006.
We had lunch together. Krista said, all right, I'm going to go to work. Nikki went upstairs to take a shower, and I just saw the garage door slam shut. She drove away, smiling and almost like, I'll be right back.
My wife called me. In my gut, I felt like something had happened to Nikki. I drove to where the accident was. While I was standing there, they were actually lifting up the car, and I fell to the ground. They painted a picture for us that Nikki had severe head trauma. The sergeant on duty just said, remember her beautiful smiling face. That's the way you need to remember her.
Within days, accident scene photos showed up online. The most horrific were of Nikki's nearly decapitated head. The pictures got out when at least one California Highway Patrol dispatcher emailed them to friends. From there, they spread like wildfire.
Somebody had put up a MySpace page saying that they were Nikki. Everybody in our family received these photographs through MySpace. Very close-up colored shots. They were really intense and graphic.
Nikki's been called some of the worst names I think anybody could call any individual. Everywhere from that deserve to die to a whore. When people are trolling, I wonder if they really realize the things that they're saying is about someone's child.
The photos have been on thousands of websites. Every time I look at a computer, I fear that I'm going to see the photographs of my daughter. I guess I would have said burying my child was the hardest thing I'd ever had to do until I saw those photos and saw what happened to her.
Why would anybody want to share such horrific, graphic pictures with other individuals? I think the saddest thing for me is I still hope that Nikki's going to come home. And I still hope that that day's going to come.
Well, first off, I can't be objective about this. It's sick. And I'm so very, very sorry that y'all are being victimized like this. It's just horrible. So employees of CHP did this.
Yes.
They let them out. Have you been able to get the pictures off of the internet in any way, Christos?
No, not at all.
Why not? You don't own the pictures, I guess.
We don't own the pictures. California Highway Patrol own the pictures.
Can they not assign you the copyright so you can move on them?
We've been attempting for several years to get the copyrights. They won't even respond really at this point. And we've tried to go to the websites themselves and
what do they say?
Some of them have been cooperative, but for the most part, they tell us to take a hike.
When you see these pictures, what does it do to you?
I get angry. I'm really struggling with my anger. I have anger towards a lot of people, not just the internet, but with the California Highway Patrol and their lack of cooperation. And every time we turn around, there's something else on the internet that's, just harmful towards us.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. I want to share what some of these people are saying so the viewers understand the gravity of what we're talking about. Are y'all okay with that?
Yes.
One is, ooh, I'm here, Daddy. I'm a dead whore. I'm a stupid bitch. These are sick people that have no capacity for empathy. I want to share what some of these people are saying so the viewers understand the gravity of what we're talking about. Are y'all okay with that?
Yes.
Before I put it up, we made a list of some of those things, and I understand that you've been through this list and you're okay with it being posted here, right, so people understand what's going on. Because I don't want anything new here. I don't want to add to your suffering in any way.
Right.
All right, then let's have the graphics so you get the nature of what's going on. One is, ooh, I'm here, Daddy. Then you can just read them. I'm a dead whore. I'm a stupid bitch. I was so happy I raped her corpse over and over. I'll let you read the rest of them. I just don't even coming out of my mouth. I can tell you from a psychological perspective, these are sick people that have no capacity for empathy. Keith Bremer is Christos and Leslie's attorney, and he's been fighting an uphill battle to have these photos taken off the web. Keith, it's almost impossible, is it not?
So we have experts that we work with that assist us in trying to identify who these people are that are posting these. Sometimes we have success in finding out who they are, and then we can write them letters and identify that if they don't remove it, that we'll go after them civilly for what they're doing. And sometimes we have success. A lot of times we can't identify who's actually doing that posting, and there's not much we can do. So then we have to go to the portal and ask the portal to remove that.
And I assume that a lot of these people they're basically judgment-proof anyway.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
Danielle is one of Christos and Leslie's daughters. She says that it scares her that the pictures are out there. Well, what is your reaction to this? I'm sorry that you're having to deal with it.
Thank you. It's, it's hard for me to just look at anything. It's like...
Does it change your memory?
Yeah, it does.
We did contact CHP to participate in the show. They declined and sent us a statement, which we'll post up on drphil.com. I hope and pray that this doesn't overshadow your memories of your daughter. Just look at her. This was one of the most delightful, vibrant young women you could ever want to know. I mean, I'm sorry for your loss and for what you're going through since then. If you're involved in this, even peripherally, even just sharing it like gossip, where you just say, wow, and send it on, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be in this chain. Because when we think about this wonderful girl, let's think about what we're seeing right there. Let's not think about anything else. We'll be right back. You know, parents out there, we need to be computer literate. We need to know what's going on with our kids, because let me tell you, they're so much better at this digital world than we are, and we have to close that information gap. In the course of the last hour, we have received 16 emails, 42 phone calls, and 51 text messages in response to the ad that we put out. So if you think that these predators are not out there spring-loaded to victimize young children, to victimize innocent families, they are, and that means we need to protect ourselves. There's going to be a whole lot more about this on drphil.com on how to do the internet safety and keep people around. Thank you so much, Robin Sachs, for telling us your wisdom about this. We're going to stay on this topic to help you protect these kids. Thanks for being here so long.